Good day, class. I am Mr. Hibbert. I'll be teaching you computer science today. Alright, we'll be touching on section 7 of the CXC syllabus, and this section deals with algorithms, pseudocode, problem solving, and the assert. Now, who can tell me what algorithm is? Well, basically, algorithm, it's a process or step which you use to solve problems, to do mathematical calculations and to solve, well, we're dealing with computer science, so computer science problems, or problems on a general, right? When we talk about problems in computer science, we generally have some steps that we follow. First, you need to identify the problem, and in identifying the problem, you come up with possible solutions to these problems, and with the possible solutions, you evaluate the solutions and then you test them if you get the desired result that you were hoping for or that you seek. In solving problems, there's a technique in computer science that we use that's called the divide and conquer. Divide and conquer, as the name suggests, you divide the problem and conquer, you solve it. Now, in the divide and conquer problem, let's say that, well, let me rub this off. In the divide and conquer problem, it would look something like, you have the problem, yes, you have the problem, this is the problem, and you divide the problem. So say you divide this problem into two sections. Now these become sub-problems. So this becomes a sub-problem now. Sub-problem, right? So now you divide large, complex problem into two smaller, manageable problems that would more likely be easier to solve. And even if these two are still complex, you can even further divide the problems into smaller sections. But we're just going to work with two for now. So when you have your two problems, you come up with a solution for these two problems separately. So now you have a solution to sub-problem, right? And then you are going to have solution so this is sub-problem 2 and sub-problem 1. Solution to sub-problem 2. And when you get the solution for the two problems separately, you merge them basically into one solution. And this is the solution for the complex problem there. So here, this section is where you divide. So this is the divide the problem, and this is the section where the problem is conquered. So now this is conquer. So you see, divide and conquer. Now, for everyday, let's think of a problem that we face every day. Getting ready for school. It's a problem. If you look at it in real, other persons have issues. A lot of us have problems even getting up to go to work. But that's the overall problem. Now let's divide that problem into smaller sections, right? Say that every morning you're to wake up at 7. You set your phone to alarm at 7 o'clock in the morning. And when you wake up, the first thing that you do is probably brush your teeth, and then after brushing your teeth, you bathe and then eat, get dressed, and then you're on your way. You're ready. Right? Basically, what you did there is divide the problem. We do this on a daily basis without even realizing, because there are steps to get things done. Now, in dealing with algorithms, as I say, it's a process or a set or a method in solving problems. But algorithms can be represented in two ways: a pseudocode or a flowchart. Today we'll be touching on flowcharts. Personally, I prefer the graphical representation of representing algorithms. Why? It's easier to explain, and just by looking at it, a regular person could figure out what is it that you're doing or what is it that you're trying to get done or solve. Could just read and follow and understand. A flowchart, it has 4 basic components or shapes to it. You have the circle. With the circle, this is a start and stop. Start or end. The end. After the circle, you have the arrows. This is what connects the components, each section or each shape in the flowchart. So this is a connector. This is the arrow. The arrow or connector. And then you have the rectangle. Now, the rectangle is where the process takes place. After the process, you have the parallelogram. Oh, it's not drawn properly. Okay, that looks good. Parallelogram. And this is the input or the output. So this is where you input the information. Pardon my bad penmanship, class. And after the parallelogram, you have the diamond. Now this is where all the decisions are made. So you have the circle for the start or end of the flowchart. The arrows, this is what connects each shape, or this is what shows you the flow of the flowchart. The rectangle is a process. The parallelogram, input output, and the diamond is a process. Now I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to show you an example of a basic or easy enough to follow flowchart. Now the flowchart I'm going to draw, it will be one for a basic payroll system, as I said before. So you're going to have the start right here. The start of the program, right? And then this is where you're going to input that's where you'll input the data. So read rates. This is the rate that you're being paid, by the way. And then the process. So for right here, this is where the calculation is generally done. So here you have gross pay equal rate times hour. Oh, hour should be here. And then after that, a decision is made. So you have the diamond here. I don't think I'm going to have enough space. Now this is basically saying if gross pay is greater than say 500, do this. If it's not, you'll do this. So true or false, or yes or no, whichever one. So if gross pay is less than that, what I want you to do is income tax of 10%. So you're going to tax the person by 10%. Or this one, income tax is 15%. All right? Oh, I hope you can see that. I know you can see that. Alright, let me try and explain this. I hope you can see further down. So basically this is a start. This is a basic payroll system. You start, this is the start of the flow chart. And then you have the parallelogram. This is where you input the data. So for here you input the rate and the hour, and the computer would read it. After which you have the process. This is where calculations are done in the rectangle. So the gross pay will equal to rate times the hour, and then flow down to the decision. Now if the gross pay, which is what you calculated up here, is greater than $500, this is $500, then it will come down to, it will come over to the false, and then the person would be taxed 10%, and it will come down here. But if it is true, they will be taxed 15% and come down to another process box, right? Process rectangle. And here it will do another calculation. It will calculate your net pay, which is the gross pay, which is what you got here, which is what is calculated here, and income tax, depending on which side it goes. And then you print the net pay, and then it ends. Is that clear? Okay. Now, in the definition